The title of today's story is The Goose Girl, so let's start the story. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a beautiful princess named Elara. She was kind, gentle, and loved by all who knew her. She lived with her parents and a kind fairy. Elara was betrothed to a prince from a neighboring kingdom, whom she had never met. Her parents, the king and queen, decide that the time has come for her to travel to meet her future husband. The king and queen prepared a grand entourage to accompany Elara on her journey. Among the servants was a maid named Hazel, who had been with Elara since childhood. As a final gift, the fairy gave Elara a magical horse named Falada, who could speak and understand human language. As they traveled, Hazel became envious of the princess's beauty and her future as a queen. She devised a wicked plan to take Elara's place. One night, while the entourage was resting, Hazel approached Elara with a devious smile. "Princess," she said, "why don't you go for a walk while I prepare a special drink for you? It will help you relax after our long journey." Elara, trusting her maid, agreed and went for a walk. When she returned, Hazel handed her a drink laced with a sleeping potion. As soon as Elara drank it, she fell into a deep sleep. Hazel quickly dressed in the princess's clothes and ordered the servants to treat her as their new mistress. She threatened them with severe punishment if they revealed the truth. When Elara woke up, she found herself wearing Hazel's clothes and was treated as a mere maid. Hazel, now posing as the princess, ordered Elara to tend to the geese in the castle's pasture when they reached the prince's kingdom. The loyal horse, Falada, tried to warn the servants, but Hazel, fearing exposure, had him killed. She ordered Falada's head to be mounted above the castle gate, thinking it would silence him forever. Despite her lowly position, Elara remained kind and hard-working. Every day, she would pass under Falada's head and speak to him. "Oh, Falada, hanging there," she would say. And the horse's head would respond, "Oh, princess, passing by, if your mother knew your fate, her heart would surely break." One day, as Elara was tending the geese, the young prince, named Lothar, noticed her. He was struck by her beauty and grace, even in her humble attire. He began to visit the pasture more often, curious about the girl who seemed so different from the others. One afternoon, as Prince Lothar approached, Elara spoke to Falada's head once again. The prince overheard their conversation and was puzzled. He decided to investigate further and asked Elara about her life and how she came to be a goose girl. With tears in her eyes, Elara told him the whole story. Prince Lothar was outraged by Hazel's deceit and cruelty. He promised Elara that he would help her reclaim her rightful place. Together they devised a plan to expose Hazel's treachery. That evening, Lothar invited Hazel to a grand feast in the castle. As they dined, Lothar told a story of a maid who betrayed her mistress and asked Hazel what punishment such a person deserved. Unaware that she was revealing her own fate, Hazel replied, "Such a person should be stripped of all her fine clothes, bound in iron chains, and banished from the kingdom." At that moment Lothar stood up and declared, "You have pronounced your own sentence, for you are the maid who betrayed the true princess." He summoned the servants and guards who had witnessed Hazel's deceit and commanded them to seize her. Hazel was stripped of her fine clothes, bound in iron chains, and banished from the kingdom, just as she had described. The prince then turned to Elara, and in front of the entire court, declared her the true princess. The king and queen, who had been summoned, were overjoyed to see their daughter restored to her rightful place. They embraced her and apologized for the pain she had endured. With Hazel gone and Elara reinstated, preparations for the royal wedding resumed. The entire kingdom celebrated the union of Prince Lothar and Princess Elara. The wedding was a grand affair, with feasting, dancing, and joyous celebrations that lasted for days. The fairy brought Falada's head down and brought him back to life. A statue was built in his honor to remind everyone of Falada's loyalty and the truth he revealed. Elara, now a queen, ruled with wisdom and kindness, her experiences strengthening her resolve to be just and merciful. And they all lived happily ever after.